Okay, Terry, if you can give me your name, where you were born, and your date of birth.
Terri Lynne Whitney.
Okay.
I was born January 20th, 1954 in Greenville, Michigan.
Okay. Greenville, Michigan. Okay, are your parents, what are their names, Aaron?
My dad was Samuel Miller, and my mom was Jacqueline Maida Heinzelman.
Okay. Heinzelman, what nationality is that? Is that?
German.
That's German, okay.
Yep.
Okay. And so, were they from Greenville, Michigan too, or?
My mom was originally from out by Grattan.
Okay.
Yeah. That her whole family was out there.
So Grattan in Michigan, where's that at?
Right. That's between Grand Rapids and Greenville, kind of halfway
it's
in between. Yeah.
Okay, in between on that route, that Greenville road?
Going out towards Belding.
Oh, towards Belding, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I like Belding, it's a pretty good town.
Yeah.
For fishing and all that, it's relaxed.
Oh yeah, real good.
Okay. Okay, so did you do any fishing since we were talking about that?
Yeah, I used to do a little bit of fishing with my dad every once in a while out there at Big Pine Island Lake.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, they got a little section where there's a couple cabins, old rusty cabins. Not rusty cabins, but like somebody had a hotel or something different.
Okay, there was cabins there at Green's Landing. Yeah,
Right,
they had
right.
little cabins that you could rent.
Okay, but you didn't do that, you just, because you lived nearby.
Right, I didn't have to. I didn't live very far from there.
Okay. Okay, so so they were from Grattan. That was, who was from Grattan? Your mom or
My
dad?
mom.
And then your dad, where was he from?
My birth father, who was Samuel Miller, was from up by Lakeview area, up in that area.
Oh, in Lakeview, okay.
Yeah.
So he's your birth father, but so how old were you when your other?
I never actually knew my birth father.
Okay.
My stepdad, William Lilly, he married my mom after I was a year old. So.
What do you say?
So he pretty much raised me, and I took his name and
Okay.
stuff.
And what about brothers and sisters?
I have no brothers and sisters. I'm an only child.
Okay. Was that good or?
Well, my mom says I was enough for 10 kids. So it was probably a good thing.
Okay. Okay. So, at 1 year old, you're being raised in Greenville?
Right. Well, I was actually, at that time, we lived here in Grand Rapids in a small apartment. And then we ended up moving out by Grattan for a while there. It was kind of a shift around because I was born with extreme club feet of both feet and heart troubles.
Extreme what?
Club feet of both feet.
What does that mean?
That's where the feet are turned out and the toes are turned up.
Oh, okay.
In fact, they told me that I would never probably be able to walk straight, but needless to say, I showed them 21 surgeries, yes.
Oh, 21 surgeries, okay.
Yeah, 21 surgeries later on my feet, but I've done anything and everything I've ever wanted to do.
Okay, so everything worked out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, you're growing up in Grattan, and so explain what Grattan was like for you.
We had where roundabout where we lived. Everybody knows that it was Heinzelman Corners. It was where my family pretty much took over the whole area. My grandparents owned quite a bit of the land on the four corners, so all of the family, all the kids were given a piece of land to build on, and so yeah, so I was raised out there and. It was a lot of fun. You know, we had a lot of good times out there with the whole family being right there. We were a very close-knit family.
Okay, so you ate at each other's places and
Oh, yeah.
all the time?
We did holidays together. We did everything pretty much together out there.
Okay, and now you had animals too, or?
Yes, I got my first horse from Sparta Rodeo when I was like, I think I was like about 8. And my dad, believe it or not, it was a pony, and my dad, believe it or not, brought it home in the back of a station wagon. Yes.
Laying down, or that pony was mad?
Yeah. So yeah, all because I wanted it. But yeah, so we had horses. I had to break my own. My dad says, you want a horse, you're going to learn how to break it. So I did that. And we also had dogs. You know, my favorite was Rebel. He was a St. Bernard. Big dog. In fact, my dad ended up getting rid of her because he was afraid that I was going to get hurt every time I'd go out to feed her. Because she'd jump up on me and knock me down, and I was so little that she was bigger than I was. Her head would come over my head. So
that area is not, you know, like when we think farms, we think chickens and cows.
No, my family, some of them had that, yeah, but it was basically just regular.
Was your family, some of them had that?
Oh yes, my family, I had an uncle that, believe it or not, that has had just about every animal, I think, that could be had, including emus, and they also had the buffalo and stuff like that. Yeah,
buffalo.
Oh yeah, he had a little bit of everything.
Okay.
My uncles would go out west every year and bring back wild horses and stuff like that they had adopted, and so yeah, my family is pretty much mostly horses and dogs.
And they were all
and
from
stuff.
there, from Grattan and then too.
Pardon?
They all were from Grattan also?
Yep. Yeah.
So the whole family was there.
In fact, my family pretty much.
You can change your name, the name of the town.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
I mean, you had the 4 corners there.
Yeah, we had the 4 corners there, but they all belonged to the Grattan Fire Department. In fact, my aunt was one of the first women firefighters in Michigan.
Okay.
She just retired after like
What's her
36 years.
What's her name?
Ann Ward.
Ann Ward, okay.
Yeah, and so, you know, that was pretty exciting, you know, when she decided to be a firefighter and everything. So my family's been pretty much all part of the volunteer fire department out there in Grattan throughout the years. We still have family that.
And your grandparents too were from there? Or?
Yep, my grandparents lived out there, yep.
You got generations from the big.
So it's been generation after generation.
So
I was a 5th generation baby.
Okay.
And everything, and my daughter was.
What does that mean, 5th generation?
That means there are 5 different generations still alive.
Oh, still alive?
At the same time.
At the same place?
In the
same area?
In the same area, yeah. Okay. And so we had 5th generation pictures taken back then, and then my daughter was also a 5th generation baby. So we were very fortunate to have that.
So during the day, this is even before school. Do you remember before even going to school?
A little bit.
What was the day?
Most of my time in my really young years was spent in hospitals.
Okay.
You know, because of the surgeries on my feet, my heart. In fact, I spent 6 months at age 2 in Detroit Children's Hospital for my heart surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in
so
fact.
You're by yourself, basically, no family?
No, my mom stayed right down there with me all that time. My dad transported back and forth, you know, on the weekends and stuff, because he had to work, of course. But I was 6 months down there, and then we figured, I think I was 14, and at that time my mom had figured that I'd spent over half my lifetime in the hospital.
Because you were 14 and
right.
Only 14.
So about 7 years of that was spent in and out of the hospital.
So what was your day like? What did you do in the hospital?
I still did just about everything. In fact, I can remember one particular thing when I was in grade school. We were living in Hudsonville at the time, and they had an annual field day.
That's Hudsonville's all the way south, right?
Yeah, we were down there for a while when I was in grade school, and we had a field day, and I came home crying. And my dad said, what are you crying about? And I said, well, the teacher says that I can't join in on the field day because of my feet. They don't think I'm fast enough or I won't qualify. He looks at me, he says, quit your crying, kid. I said, why? And he said, because you will do that field day. And he took me for a week every day out in our neighbor's plowed field and ran with me through that every single day. My mom said he probably was more tired than I was. And he says, now you go back and you tell that teacher I said to let you at least try. I said, okay. Well, I tried. I got on the teams, and I ended up winning like 4 ribbons that year. And they were just shocked to think that, I could actually do that with my feet the way they were. So yeah, I was never brought up, you feel sorry for yourself, you do what you got to do, and the only way you're ever going to find out that you can't is to try it. So I've tried everything.
So for you didn't have that, you didn't feel like it was some kind of handicap?
No.
Or anything like that?
No. I never looked at it as a handicap.
Until she said that.
Right, yeah. I never looked at it as a handicap. I always, if anything, I looked at it as a challenge to say, okay, they say I can't do this. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you. Okay.
Okay.
And that's the way my folks brought me up. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You want to do it? Try it. The most you're going to do is find out you can't.
But how did that make you feel there? Because that's like a bias that they had.
Well,
you didn't look at it like that.
No, I didn't look at it that way because, and when people did, I just explained, why.
Okay.
Because you could tell, even right today, you can tell if I'm really tired and you watch me walk, you can tell that my feet are bothering me.
Okay.
But as far as growing up, I had one kid pick on me one day, I can remember, and I was on crutches at the time. And this kid was picking on me, and I got mad, so I threw my crutches down and took off running after him with my cast on. Needless to say, I had to have that surgery redone. But, it was like, oh no, you're not going to get away with that, just because I'm on these things, But yeah, so I never felt sorry for myself, and I never thought of myself as being different than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I just use that word, handicap.
No, that's fine, because actually, if you would I learned to walk on what they call the brown bar. It's curved round. And my shoes were attached to it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you got to walk. Oh, you walked on that.
I learned to walk on that.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. So, yeah, a lot of people would look at me sometimes, especially, when I had my cast and stuff like that. But I was just always had a family that always said, don't worry about it. You're just as normal as they are. You just have had to go through a little bit more to get there,
But did they use that word normal or?
Yeah.
So they used it and that didn't?
Oh, yeah. My folks never looked at me as being abnormal. Now, my real dad did.
That's what they say about Puerto Ricans. Are you normal? No.
Yeah, really. Yeah. But no, I never looked at that way. My folks never, my family never did. The only thing is I was really little, real tiny. And I remember a story my mom told me was that my one uncle, because I had never had any brothers and sisters. And so my grandma always said when her kids started having kids, that's when she would quit. Well, my one aunt is only a month and a year older than I am. So we're very close. So I was more an extension of their family because the next grandchild down was like 12 years later after me. So I was more an extension of their family. And so my uncle one day said to me, he said, little girl, you're going to be little. He said, don't you ever let anybody pick on you, and if anybody does, you just pick up something that's going to make you just as big as they are. Well, needless to say, he had to eat his words a little bit because he was picking on me one day. And needless to say, they were playing baseball, so I picked up a baseball bat and went after him with it. My mom went to get after him, and he goes, "Oh no, don't you dare." He said, "I got exactly what I deserved." He said, "I pushed her too far and she got mad, you know." But yeah, so I was brought up with quite a good family background as far as that goes.
And what was the grammar school that you were going to?
I went to Allward Elementary in Hudsonville.
Oh, in Hudsonville.
And then I went
So how long did
to
you-
Grattan Elementary when I lived out by Grattan.
But how long did you live in Hudsonville? And who else
From
lived there?
the time I remember kindergarten through 4th grade, I think.
Okay. But who else were there other relatives there?
Nope. No, there was no other relatives, just my mom and dad decided to move out there. I don't know why or what the reason.
Where was he working at the time?
He was working for, I believe it was John Millis Welding in Grand Rapids.
In Grand Rapids, so
Yeah, in Grand Rapids, right.
Okay, good. So Hudsonville's a nice neighborhood. So he had some money. He was making good.
Yeah, it was all right. You know, we weren't rich. He had my dad did have a stock car that he raced at Berlin. My dad used to race for Berlin Raceway.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time going there and stuff too as a kid.
Okay. So isn't there like a racetrack up north too by Grattan or?
Yep, there's a drag strip up there.
Okay, so did he
Yeah.
race there too or?
Oh yeah, both my mom and dad both drag stripped there.
Oh, your mom too?
Oh yeah, my mom raced our Buick Special up there. And she beat my dad's time, and that's when my dad said, "Okay, that's it."
So okay, so that was part of growing up.
Yep.
Going to
Oh
the-
yeah,
to the drag strip.
Yep. We used to go to the drag strip. My whole family would go.
Okay.
My mom's brothers and sisters were all there, everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, we did a lot of things as a family.
What other things besides the drag strip?
Oh,
Growing up.
we had a cottage that we spent time at, and
Where was that?
that was at Upper Lake, up the other side of Cedar Springs there, and in between Cedar Springs and Sand Lake.
Okay, by Cedar Springs. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
We
is
had a
that
cottage
okay?
up there, and we used to go up there every weekend and
That's
stuff.
the other road. That's the old 131.
Right, the old 131,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, and that's a nice road too. That,
Yeah. Yeah.
Many times up there. So you had a cottage there, and
Yep, we had a
that
cottage.
wasn't too far from your house, was it?
Well, it still was, kind of, my mom and dad liked the lake.
Okay, because it was right that lake.
Right. Oh, yeah, it was right on the lake.
Okay.
It was right on Upper Lake and everything. So we walked out our door, and there the lake was right there.
Okay.
So yeah, we went up there. In fact, my dad told me at one time, he said, "If you get straight A's this year, I'll buy you a speedboat." Well, he didn't think I was going to do it. I got straight A's. So guess who had to go out and buy the speedboat?
Yeah.
My mom said, "You told her, you buy it." So he bought it and stuff. So yeah, and I learned how to use the surfboard behind it. I couldn't do skiing because of my feet, because my ankles wouldn't hold me up. But the surfboard I could use behind the boat, because that was solid straight, so I could balance that way with both feet on them. But I couldn't ski.
Right.
But I did learn how to do the surfboard, yeah.
I'm thinking I'm rubbing my head on the water. So you swam a lot and all that?
Oh yes, I swam all the time. I was like a fish. I love the water. Still right to this day, I love the
Okay.
water.
Okay, so in school, in Hudsonville up to 4th grade, what do you remember there?
Basically 4-H.
4-H club?
4-H club. I belonged to 4-H club. I went to 4-H camp a couple years and stuff like that. And I topped onions. My very first job.
What?
I was in 3rd grade.
So you topped onions, what's that mean?
Worked in the black muck fields, actually
Okay.
cutting the tops off of onions with great big shears.
Because they go, I don't know, I'm a city boy, how do they go? They go in the ground.
In the black muck, yeah. In black muck.
Muck, okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, when
Okay.
you came home you were filthy.
Mm.
But I told my mom, I said, if I can get a job this summer, can I go to work, and she laughed. She said, sure. She said, if you can get a job, honey, I'll let you work. Well, a week later, I come home and said, Mom, I got a summer job. And she looked at me and she goes, what? Doing what? And I told her, and she said, you're kidding me. So she called the farmer up, and he said, oh, yeah, I hire all the kids in the summer. You know, he said, they have a good time doing it. It's all their friends, everybody, you know. She said, okay, as long as you don't get hurt, you're fine. And I chopped onions for 3 years out there until I put the shears through my little toe. And she said, that's it. I told you once you got hurt, you were done. But yeah, I chopped onions, so that was my first job ever.
That was in Hudsonville.
That was in Hudsonville, yep, and off of 40th Street there.
Okay, and so, what about Grattan? What do you remember?
Pardon?
What about Grattan? That school?
Grattan School, I had my 8th grade graduation. I got my very first boyfriend.
How was he like? What was he like?
He was good.
What's his name? What's his name?
His name was Bobby Bruff.
Okay, he might be married now, so we don't.
Oh, he is. I know he is.
So Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Bruff was one of my first boyfriends.
Brufford?
Bruff, yep.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, Grattan was very close-knit. It was a very small community, so, you know, everybody knew everybody. And so, yeah, so I spent just a couple years in Grattan before I went to Belding, to high school, so.
Okay. And you glossed over your boyfriend.
Pardon?
You glossed over him real quick. He wasn't your boyfriend too long?
No, wasn't my boyfriend too long.
Okay. I'll be right with that. Okay.
No.
So,
I was a normal kid, you know, back then, you know, it was.
And you were a teenager then, by then?
By then, it was 8th grade.
Oh, 8th
You know,
grade.
so we didn't date or anything else like that. Every time we were together, you know, the family and everybody else was around.
Chaperone? Did he have
Oh, yeah, everything was chaperoned. Oh, yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? My mom wouldn't let me date until I was 16.
So what does chaperone mean?
That meant either his folks or my folks were with us
All the time?
all the time.
Okay, that's what that meant.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, my mom was pretty strict on that ruling that, you know, she,
And then you're the only child.
Yep.
So she's very protective.
oh, yeah, very protective and very,
And then you're
Even-
daddy's girl, so usually the girls are.
yeah,
Close
yeah.
to the
So,
dad.
yeah, so, you know, they had some pretty strict rules as far as that and when I was allowed to date on my own and stuff.
Did you get in any big trouble?
Oh, Lord, I was always in trouble.
That we can see you were always in trouble.
I was always in
Just
trouble.
Be careful what you say, but what
No,
kind of
I
trouble?
know.
What kind of trouble?
You know, I'm pretty much an open book to my family. They all know me well enough to know. In fact, my daughter knows everything. In fact, one day my dad said to me, he said, why do you tell her everything? I said, because you know, there's some mistakes that I made that I don't want her to make. So, and if I can't be honest with my child, who can I be honest with? And that I have always gone by that rule, and I'm glad I did, because she is probably one of the most honest people you'll ever meet.
No,
So,
I didn't ask you her name.
no,
Her children's name.
but yeah, so
What's her name?
my daughter's name is Tanya.
That'd be all
I
right.
picked that when I was in 9th grade. I said, if I ever have a girl, that's what I'm going to name her.
You only have one girl?
Yep, and I only have one. Yep.
Okay, all right. And
So yeah, so in high school and stuff like that, it was pretty, my mom and dad tried to keep, let's put it this way, pretty good tabs on me.
okay.
I picked up the bad habit of smoking. In fact, I just quit 3 years ago. I did a little bit of partying, just like almost any other teenager I ever knew back then in the 60s was doing.
Well, in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now that's the hippie era.
Yes, it is.
So, but they got a little crazy. The hippies.
Yes, they do.
So,
Yes, they do.
So when you said party over here, what is it? What it meant?
Oh,
In Grattan.
we had grassers,
Grass or whatever.
what they call a grasser, and that's where all the kids meet way out in the middle of nowhere where there's nothing. I mean, it's way out in the country.
Okay.
And that's where they would party and stuff, you know. Everybody get their cars around, turn on their lights, and the music would be going, and that's the way we partied.
There was no, like, the boys were not into fighting or anything like that?
No. That's one thing back then we didn't have a lot of.
Okay.
You know, you might see a little bit of it, but everybody got along pretty basically. The only time you might see a fight once in a while is somebody messed with somebody else's girlfriend.
Right,
But then it was never guns or anything like that. It was all done with fists.
okay, at that time.
And there was no "I'm gonna kill you" or anything like that. It was, you know, come on, leave my girlfriend alone. If you don't, I'm gonna knock you out, and that would be it. So it's nothing like it is nowadays. Nothing, you know. And it's sad because back then we had a lot of fun. You know, and I have a lot of good memories from back then in high school because of that, I think. You know, yeah, we had some bad things happen. Like I had a good friend that ended up getting shot by his best friend when they were skipping school one day. You know, so yeah, we had some things that went wrong back then. Like with them, they were both high.
Okay.
And he didn't realize what he was doing until after it was done.
High on weed or?
Nobody really knows what all they were doing.
Yeah, so I'm using words. Is that a right word?
Right.
It's not a right word.
Yeah.
And high, you meant that they were drinking.
Drugs. No, there was drugs involved.
Drugs.
Yes.
So higher than weed.
I think so,
Worse
yes.
than weed.
I think so.
Okay, do they use a methamphetamine or?
Back then, it was more LSD.
LSD, okay, that's what I meant there.
Yeah, back then, that was the big drug of choice, was the LSD. But yeah, so, you know, we had things like that happen that were not good.
You don't have to admit to none of that.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you know, it was just the time and the era. That's about all I'm going to say. It was the time and the era, and
Okay.
I can't say I'm not glad that I didn't learn some of the things because it's made me who I am today.
Okay.
You know, because I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke anymore, I don't, you know. But at the same time, I wouldn't have traded that past for the nothing because I had a riot growing up. I had a good time. And it was at a time where you could do things like that, though. Like I said, it's nothing like it is now. It seems like every time you hear kids getting together, somebody's getting shot or knifed or something, you know. And we just didn't have that back then.
But it happens now in Grattan, things like that? Knives and stuff?
No, I don't think they see that too much out there still.
Okay.
But
In the bigger, like Greenville or something like that?
in Belding, they just had some stuff go down up there not too long ago, you know, and it's like nothing like it used to be. Nothing. But, you know, I had good memories. I had a good time growing up in high school. I had some very good friends that we are still friends to this day with. And I wouldn't trade none of them for nothing because, you know, it's like we were talking just not too long ago, you know, at a graduation, one of the kids' graduation. And we were saying, you know.
One of which kids?
Huh?
One of which kids?
One of my cousins'
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
Graduated.
You call
Yeah.
them your kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I wouldn't trade that time for nothing.
That's a good time.
It was a good time. It was a good time. I was voted best dancer in my high school.
Mm.
I loved music. I still do.
So what kind of music?
Rock and roll,
Rock
classic. I'm a big Beatles fan. I have a Beatle collection.
Oh.
I go to Beatle Fest every year. So yeah, everybody knows me as the Beatle lady.
Okay. So you were the dancer at the high school?
I danced all the time. We had a club up there where teenagers could go, and they'd have live bands on the weekends for us and stuff like that.
Right in Grattan.
In Belding.
In Belding. So you hung out mostly in Belden?
And when I was in high school, yep.
Was the high school near Belden?
Huh?
Was that-
Near Grattan?
Oh,
I went to Belden High School. I graduated from Belden High.
so is Grattan right next to Belden?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's just before, just outside.
Oh, just outside.
Belden,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, that's what I saw. I've seen it.
Yeah, there's Grattan, Belden,
Because sometimes I come from Lowell.
Smyrna.
Oh, Smyrna. Okay, so like coming from Lowell and all
Yep,
that, right?
yep, right out in there.
that area. Okay,
Yep.
okay. So then I got a ticket there. Try to avoid it.
Yep.
The truck doesn't go that fast. But
Yep.
That's something else. But okay, Smyrna and all that, those areas, that's a
Yep.
beautiful landscape there.
It's nice out there, yeah.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
And Belden is nice, the riverfront. They fixed
Yep,
it
by
up.
the river, yep.
And stuff like that. So at that time, there wasn't a lot of violence and that.
No.
It was the time in the era.
It
People
was-
were just having a good time.
Everybody just had a good time. and-
Nobody going to getting in trouble with the law or anything.
Well, they had a few, and mostly it was drug related or something, a few frowns or drinking, and stuff like that they would have, yeah.
They do have a few bullies out there because I worked in a program out there. I
Oh,
was
okay.
actually a counselor out there in Ionia.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so I know they have a little clique that got in the
Yeah.
country. In the country, they usually
Yeah.
have cliques, little cliques. Like that.
Oh, yeah, sometimes you do, but
And
our
everybody-
class,
everybody
though
knows
our
that.
class was
But you
not
didn't-
cliquish at all.
Yeah, you didn't hang around with that group.
I was friends with everybody.
But because everybody knows each other, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't your main group, the clique.
No, not really.
Yeah. Because they got in more and deeper trouble, you were saying.
Right, yeah.
You were just the average.
I was the average in between one that
Or were
I
you?
could
I'm
get
asking.
along. I could get along with the ones who had nothing, and I could get along with the ones who had everything.
Okay.
I had friends on both sides. I still do.
Oh, okay, so there wasn't no split between
There was
middle
no,
class or working
no,
class?
no. Our class was probably, and to give you a good example of it would be our principal, the year after we graduated, spoke at the next class graduation, and he told them he was glad to see us gone, that they were a much better class than we were. But it was
the principal.
yeah,
Okay.
but it was because our class, we all stuck together. It didn't matter. We didn't have a lot of cliques and stuff like that. We were all together. If something was going to go down, everybody was in on it. It's just
And now I say class, you're talking gang. But
we weren't gangs or nothing. It was just
if
it
something
was
was gonna go down, you were gonna
right. Basically, like we did a sit-in.
sit in.
Yeah, we did a sit-in on the police steps.
You were protesting.
Yeah, we actually protested and did a sit-in on the police steps of City Hall,
Okay.
against our principal, as a matter of fact.
Now he must have felt bad because everybody knew him.
Because what he had done was there was a party and some kids got busted and some didn't. So he put it over the speaker. He said, if anybody wants to come talk to me about this, and everything, I promise it'll be totally anonymous and all this stuff. Won't tell your parents, won't do this, won't do that. And a few people did, and he turned right around and went to their parents about it. After it was supposed to be confidential. And so our class all got together and said, you ain't getting away with that. If it's confidential between you and me, then it's going to stay confidential. Or I'm not going to talk to you. And that's basically what we did the sit-in for. And the whole senior class walked out of school and went down there and sat down. So yeah,
How long did you sit down there?
just for the one afternoon, but we made our point.
Did the local paper write about it? or-
Oh yeah, I'm thinking there probably is,
Write a
but
little article in there.
yeah, probably is. I've never seen it, but I'm sure there is.
But the neighborhood, everybody knew about the city.
Oh yeah, everybody knew about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Was that the first time you did that?
Yep.
That
Yeah, that was the first time I ever.
and the last time, or?
Yep, and the
Okay.
last time I did a
But
sit-in.
you
Yeah.
but you did do that.
But oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So did you? I use the word hippie. I mean, did you have hippies? Here?
Yes, we had hippies.
So
Oh
that,
yeah.
That means that the guys had long hair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most of the guys in our class had long hair.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that
And
very
they-
much.
and they definitely were into LSD.
Yes. Yes, there was a lot of them that were, yeah. But yeah, our class, I would say we were the class that was like, well, you figure we graduated in 72. So you got 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, right at those teenage years.
Right.
And so, yeah, our class was kind of the wild ones of the bunch, I guess you could say.
I'm telling you, I used to work out there, and I grew up in Chicago, and I go, these people are
Mm-hmm.
worse. I thought I left Chicago to get away from them. They're here.
Well, you know what they,
But I mean, it still was a different culture, but they were kind of fast.
oh yeah,
They were kind of
for the timing.
yeah. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
we're in the country, we're
Yeah,
this is the,
no.
But then you have the country, and then you have the towns too. They're more like cities.
Yeah, they used to call, the nickname for Belding in the cop shop was Little Detroit.
Little Detroit, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So that's
yeah,
what
back
that's
then.
what I felt.
Back then, yeah. Yeah, because it was very,
So
very happened,
more
very,
cosmopolitan now.
oh yeah. And, and we had, the people that did the heavy drugs, we had drug dealers that got busted up there, we had,
Right.
during that time period, that was a big thing back.
Yeah, no, it was a big thing during the 60s.
Because you're talking the Vietnam War and everything else,
Right. No, the whole country was into that.
Right, and so everybody,
Nobody can deny that. Everybody.
yeah, everybody was that way, and we had friends that were in Vietnam, in fact, my first true love, I went with for 3 years, and he spent 3 tours in Vietnam.
What was his name?
Craig Gregory.
Okay, because he did serve the country. We need to respect
Yes,
that.
Craig Gregory, yes.
Even though you don't want to talk too much about it.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
His wife knows.
Okay.
Her and I don't speak,
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, so
And
that was
he's from there too.
he's from Belding.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was a big time period at that time. The Vietnam War was going on. A lot of people didn't agree with it, and the way people were treating.
How did you feel about it?
I had mixed feelings about it because of the fact, probably because of going with somebody who was over there,
Exactly. Okay.
and he really believed in what he was doing was the right
Okay.
thing.
Okay.
And so, I kind of had mixed. I didn't like the fact that he was over there. His mother didn't like the fact that he was over there. But he believed in it enough.
You said he did 3 chores.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
He
believed
believed in it
Okay.
enough that he
And
went
you
back
were his girlfriend.
3
So
times.
yeah.
Yep.
For him, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, that's what people. I actually enrolled for it. They didn't accept me because
Yeah.
I already had kids in it. And
But yeah, so that was a big
Some
time
others-
period, and the Vietnam War was going on. Everybody was protesting against it.
yeah.
And
And then later on, I protested too. But
yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
At first, I enlisted it.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was mixed feelings in the country.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of mixed feelings back
Yeah.
then, and
But it is. Is in West Michigan more like Republican, or were
I don't know. I never paid attention back then.
Okay, you didn't pay attention.
To be honest with you, I didn't pay that much attention to, and even today, though, I don't consider myself a Democrat. I don't consider myself a Republican. I vote for whoever I think,
Okay.
no matter what party they're with. If I think, okay, I might want to give this guy a chance, because truthfully, I don't trust any politicians whatsoever nowadays. But
You don't like none of them.
right? No, I don't like
We're
politics.
equal there. We don't.
No, I think they just need to just clear the room and start over fresh.
Okay. So this is so now this is around the high school time.
Yeah.
The year 1969.
Yeah, I graduated in 1972.
72. Okay. 1972.
Yep.
Okay, and then so Did you stay living there after that?
I did for a year,
Okay.
and then I moved out. I got married, and then we moved to Grand Rapids.
Married to who?
Larry Gorsuch.
There you go. Where's it?
Gorsuch, yeah.
And you've been married with him first? You still married to him? Or?
No.
Okay, so.
No, we were
So
very...
that was the look you gave me.
Yeah, that was a very short-lived one.
Oh, Larry.
6 months.
6 months, that was it.
6 months.
Didn't do too good.
No.
Okay. You just didn't click, but was he from there too? From Raleigh?
He was an abuser.
He was an abuser.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 6 months of that was enough for me. Never laid a hand on me in 2 years, till after we said I do.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Never laid. You were with him for 2 years, and you didn't think that.
No abuse
that he was
whatsoever.
like that.
No abuse
And then-
whatsoever.
And then once they tied the knot.
What we signed the
came
net
up- it was-
within 3 days.
So you were. It was about what, control, or what was it?
Yeah, it was a lot of control, and
So you're into control, and he's into.
I'm
control.
not one who's easy to control.
Okay. So you're not into control. You just don't want to be controlled.
Pardon?
You're not into control. You just don't want.
No,
to be
I just don't want to be. Yeah,
controlled.
and
Or are you into
he was
control?
very.
Or are you into control?
No.
You're not. You just don't
No.
want to be controlled by anybody.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't want to be
And-
controlled by anybody.
And he thought that's the right way to be.
Yep, and it
Is
didn't.
that what he? Well, I don't want to put words in.
No, basically he was, now looking at hindsight 2020 and talking to some of his family and stuff, bottom line, he was just an abuser. He, thought he was God's gift and could do anything he wanted to, and if you didn't agree with it, no matter whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, then he would take his anger out on you. It's all, it's simple and...
Was his father like that, or he just grew up like that? Or?
I don't know.
Okay. You
I really didn't
you
know his...
analyze it.
Yeah, I didn't really analyze his past that much on it. I just knew it was time to get out.
Okay. And so, what was the needle that broke the haystack?
Chased me down the road with a shotgun.
I guess that would lead to. I guess that would lead to it.
Yeah, that would be a good reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, do you see him now at all?
No. He's no longer living.
Okay, he passed away.
Yep. 15 years ago, from what I heard.
But for the benefit of his relatives, was he still okay, or
Huh?
did he have any good points?
Other than being good looking, no.
Okay, so he was good looking. So,
Oh yeah, he was
okay.
good. Even my dad used to say, he's a doggone handsome man.
Right.
It's just too bad he's an idiot. You know?
Okay, so he had some good points. He was handsome.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. So then after that, what happened? You broke up with him, and
Yep. And I stayed single.
But you went through a divorce. Did you marry
You're right.
legally and all that?
Yeah, we got a divorce legally and everything, and then
And he agreed to it without any problem.
right then about 6 months later, I found out I was pregnant, and then
From him?
No.
Someone else.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone else, and so then I raised my daughter by myself for like 7 years.
So what was?
I was a single mom.
What's his name?
Her dad?
Yeah.
I'd rather not say.
Okay, that's fine. I won't say. And then, so you.
He's never been in her life. That's why I'm.
No, that's fine.
that.
No, you don't have to say.
Yep.
So then after that, what happened?
No, like I said, I raised her by myself for 7 years.
For 7, so you were single for 7
Yep,
years.
single for 7 years,
Okay.
and then I married a guy from Lowell, and that lasted about 3 years.
Okay, but before we go there, when you're single for 7 years, what was growing up?
Oh, it was wonderful with my daughter. I love my daughter. In fact, they told me beforehand that I would never be able to have kids because I had some issues. And needless to say, I went back to my doctor and I said, here I am again. And he looked at me and said, I kind of figured you'd be back. And he says, He said, but before we schedule surgery or anything, he said, let's go ahead for the heck of it and do a test. And I said, well, I thought you said I couldn't get pregnant. I haven't been on anything in 4 years, you know. He says, well, let's do it just to be on the safe side. And I said, all right. Come back in, he looked at me, he goes, I lied. That's exactly the way he put it to me. I lied.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what are you talking about? He said, you're pregnant. And I said, oh my God. So yeah, but best thing that ever happened to me, because like I said, I thought I was never going to be able to have children. And so I did have her, fortunately.
So she's born, and how does a mother feel? I don't know. I mean,
Oh, it was great. It was beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Wouldn't trade her for the world.
Oh, you're just holding her, or I mean, what do you mean?
Holding her, playing with her, and smart. Oh, my goodness, she was so smart. In fact, the doctors even told me, they said, I feel sorry for you. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, you're going to have your hands full. And she did. By the time we had her tested when she was 8 years old, and by then she had an IQ, well, no, it was 3 the first testing. 3 the first testing. At that time she had an IQ of about a 9-year-old at 3. And so she just escalated from there, you know. So very bright, very smart, but an absolute joy. Had so much fun raising her. I really did. She was a lot of fun. You know, I believed that the more you spend time with your children, the better it's going to be. And so, yeah, her and I were, and right to this day, we're close. And we were back then.
And what sort of things were you doing at that age with her?
Oh my goodness, we went swimming, and she was very fortunate. She had grandparents that were over-the-road truck drivers. And as soon as, like when she got in school, as soon as school was out, they were there waiting for her, so she would be able to go with them for a month on the truck. She's traveled all over the countryside, and she'd call me up and tell me all the things she was doing and stuff. But yeah, we spent a lot of good times together. I taught her to swim. Huh?
These were her grandparents that were over?
Yeah, my mom and dad were over-the-road truck drivers,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
For North American Van Lines.
Okay.
Yeah, they did it for 13 years.
Together?
Yep.
On the same truck?
In same truck,
Oh,
24/7 for 13 years.
And their granddaughter too.
Yeah.
So that was neat.
Yeah, and we did a lot of things. We went to fairs together, parades, you know, because I always believed in, you know, trying to get her out there to experience different things in life, you know, because I thought it was important, and she learned a lot from it, you know.
So why did you think that was important?
Because it's a way to be around people, just being able to have fun, knowing that, you know, there's fun things in the world to do, learning. So yeah, I took her pretty much everywhere with me.
So a person that doesn't experience those things, do you think that affects them, or how would that affect them?
I would think that it would somewhat, because they might not be as well-rounded.
Oh, well-rounded, okay.
You know, and she was always brought up with, you know, the idea that she was no better than anybody else, and nobody's no better than she was. So she looked at everybody with an open mind. So yeah,
And that helped because she was broad-minded.
I think because she was more broad-minded about people, she realized, you know, that people were good, and you could have fun,
Okay.
and you can enjoy life a little bit. But
So you were indoctrinating her to be broad-minded.
right, to be very. Oh yes, I wanted her to be very broad-minded and not closed-minded. I wanted her to be non-judgmental. I wanted her to be a person that didn't believe in discrimination, because too many people are. You know, and so my goal for raising her was part to make her a better person, to not be judging people, by their color, by what they look like with me with my feet. And I told her when she was growing up, I said, I'd have kids point at me and laugh. I said, and that's not a very good feeling. So I don't want you to do that. And don't ever be afraid to ask somebody, you know, if you see somebody that's crippled up, say, what happened? You know, find out the reason. And she'd been known to do that right in the middle of Myers to a guy.
She would ask somebody.
Oh yeah, it was a veteran that was in a wheelchair and he'd lost his leg from the knee down, you know.
Get into a conversation with.
Oh yeah, she walked right up to him, started talking to him, and he goes, you know, he looked at me and he said, that is so pleasant to know she was not afraid of me. Or not standing back and staring and point. I said, she better never. You know, it's simple as that. That's not the way she's brought up. And so, yeah, so my teaching methods were more about not only math, history, you know, things like that. It was true life and what life is out there and how other people feel.
And so what kind of work were you doing at that time where you were raising them?
Tax work, book work, just like I do now, basically. Yeah, I did mostly.
Is that what you do for the community house?
Yes, I'm the accounting specialist here.
Oh, you
I do all the AP and AR. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I was doing the same thing back then.
So do you do payroll too, or no? You don't do
No,
payroll?
I don't do the payroll here.
Okay.
Nope, they have a
So
system
you're
that
accounting
does
in
that.
terms of bills and.
Yep, I
and
take care of all the bills, pay the bills,
Pay the bills and stuff like
take in all the money, make
you've
sure
been-
that
and
gets
you've been
put
doing
into
that?
the system where it belongs.
that. And you've been doing that for a while, or?
I've been doing accounting work for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
My mom.
She did it too?
My mom was very much a numbers person, and so she brought me up taught me, in fact, she started teaching me when I was in high school how to do books. And I did all their books for their truck driving business for them.
Oh, so they were not just over the road truck drivers, they actually owned a business.
Yeah, they were
So-
actually self-employed,
Oh, I
basically.
knew somebody that did that, so they would call them and then they would contract out
Yeah, but they only contracted to North American, though.
through North American.
Yep,
Okay, so North American had a dispatcher that would call them.
yep, and say, here, we got a load, do you want to take it?
Take a load. Okay, that's
Yep.
exactly how my friend did that. I was
Yep.
there hanging out with him while he was getting called.
Yep,
Okay, so that's neat. And then they would just go all over the country with it.
Right, yep.
Now, did they own their own truck?
yes,
Okay,
yep.
and that's expensive, right? A truck.
Yes, it is. A lot of people don't realize just how expensive it is. They used to think my mom and dad were rich, and that wasn't necessarily so, because one tire was $500, $800, you know. So yeah,
So they did accounting, but they had you do the
I did all their accounting,
all their accounting.
all their bookwork.
Now, did you take that clerk stuff in school?
I took some accounting in school, yep.
I call it stuff because I failed. Those are the classes I failed.
Yeah, a
I
lot
was
of
the
people do. A
opposite.
lot of people look at me and go, how do you do it?
I do the opposite.
Yeah.
Of the numbers. So you were doing it in school and all that,
Yep.
and then you came here and you just found a position in the paper, or
No, I came through a temp service.
you came through a temp service?
Yep, for here.
Okay, and then so how long have you been here?
I've been here now 5 years.
5 years. And you came through the temp service first, and then you got hired in
Yep, and then I got hired in.
after a couple months, or
About 6 months.
after 6 months
Yeah.
they hired you. Okay, and so any changes since then in the company here?
Pardon?
Any changes since then here? Have you seen any changes?
What changes has happened has been for the good. You know, we've got everybody, I think we got a pretty good team here now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because they told me that it expanded or something. It used to be.
right. You know, that's what I'm saying. We got a real good team. We've got, you know, different programs, new programs that are starting up, and things that we're doing. So yeah, I think it's moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So your daughter, you did tell me your daughter's name, right?
Tanya.
Tanya.
Yep.
Tanya. And how old is Tanya now? About?
Tanya will be 40 this
40?
September.
Okay. So she's been married or?
Yeah, she's been married, divorced, and she has 2 children. I have 2 beautiful granddaughters.
What's your granddaughter's name?
Amara and Alyssa.
Amara and Alyssa.
Yep.
Okay. And that sounds like Spanish names.
Pardon?
That sounds like a Spanish name.
Oh, Amara. I don't know where she got it from.
Okay. Or is it Hawaiian? My granddaughter's got a Hawaiian name. Is it?
Oh.
From where is that?
No, I don't know where she got it from.
Okay.
But
Okay. So, and does she live in
she lives
Grattan?
in Caledonia.
Caledonia. That's south?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, south of Grand Rapids.
Yep, that's where she lives with her
And-
girls.
and, with the girls. And, she's still, the girls are still living with her?
Oh yeah, they're still little.
They're still little?
Yep.
Okay.
One's 10 now and the other one's 8.
Okay. And
So
they
we
were-
got a few years yet.
Okay. So Caledonia is going towards Middleville.
Yep.
Towards Middleville over there.
Yep.
My fishing.
Mhm. Yep.
My old fishing spot. I'm on the. Okay, so what's in your plans? I mean, what's in your future plans, if you can say?
Well, right now, basically, just stay here, hopefully, until I decide to retire.
Okay.
Which I haven't quite decided when that's gonna be yet. And it'll be at least 4 years, maybe longer, depending on how things go and how I feel. And, I hope to I wouldn't actually mind retiring in 4 years, but we'll see. Financially, nowadays, the way this world's going, you never know.
You can't, yeah, it's kind of hard to
Yep.
retire, yeah.
Because my husband now is just disabled, so
What's your husband's name now?
David,
David?
yeah,
And you've been with him for how long?
16 years.
Okay. Is that the longest?
Yep, that's the
Okay.
longest one I had.
No, I didn't see any anger or anything. in your-
No,
in your
no.
face. So it must
He's
be
a pretty good guy.
He's pretty good.
I always tease my family and everybody, and I always tell them, yeah, God made me his guinea pig to try out every scope and kind of man.
But this is a keeper.
And I've been through them all.
This is a keeper, this one.
This one we're keeping, yeah.
We're keeping.
We're keeping this one.
So the-
He's got his faults, but, we're keeping him.
But we're gonna keep him. But he's
But yeah, because actually I've been married, Dave's my 4th marriage, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've had quite an array of husbands that, like I said, I think God just made me his guinea pig. Because they were all different in their own way.
But
And they all had different issues in their own way,
but isn't nowadays, that's kind of normal now. For people to
Yeah,
have-
that's what everybody
different-
says.
Yeah, I mean.
To me, that's still not normal,
No, I'm not saying it's normal, I'm just.
You know what I mean? But,
It's people are getting used to that.
right, they
That's
are.
going on.
Yeah, but yeah, with me, I'm just,
Instant coffee, instant marriage, instant.
yeah, really. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
just-
with me, I'm not one. I think after the first marriage, it made me a little bitter and a little strong-hearted. So I do things the way I want to do them, and if you don't like it, that's too bad. That's kind of the way I am. And that's the truth. My husband will tell you too. He said, "Yeah, you can't even tell her nothing."
What does he do? He just
But
lets
no,
it go. He just
yeah, and he just lets
It's
me go
easy.
do my thing.
So he just
And
wants to
everything.
let
Like
go.
he says, I know what you're doing, and stuff, so I ain't worried about it. So yeah, so I kind of, and I think that's come from, like I said, going through a wife beater, drug addict, alcoholic, and Dave.
Okay, so drug addict, alcoholic, so is that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've had both.
Other than that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Larry comes from where? Where's he come
Now Larry, my first husband,
No.
Dave,
Dave, I'm sorry.
from Grand Rapids here.
So Dave is from Grand Rapids?
Yep.
So, you met him after you started working here, or
No, before.
before that? 'Cause you
Like I
only
said,
been
it's
here
been
5 years.
15 years, and I've only
Yeah,
been
15
here 5
yeah,
years.
you only
yeah.
been here 5 years. So,
And we met on the internet.
oh, you met on the internet?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and you met on the internet, and then you just started dating and stuff?
Yep,
like that?
we dated for a while.
Okay. But I mean, it worked pretty well because you get 16 years, so.
That's right, it's
People
been
don't
the
know what-
longest one yet.
people don't know what they're talking about.
Like my dad says every time he sees me, another year, I'm proud of you.
Okay. So, and what type of work did he do before he was?
He worked for Steelcase for 22 years before they forced retired him after he had a massive heart attack.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since he had that?
Yeah, that was, his heart attack was in 2002, 2 years after we were married.
But still, Case is a pretty good job.
He's doing good now, yeah.
Okay.
You know, he's got some, a little bit of brain damage from it, but not where you would even notice it. It's mostly short-term memory stuff.
Now, is all his family from Grand Rapids? Or?
Yes.
Okay. So you're tight-knit with his family and all that, or?
His family's not close.
Okay.
They're not close at all. He lost his dad 4 years ago. He lost his brother 2 years ago. And so his half-sister and half-brother, he doesn't have any communication with, or his stepmom. He lost his mom when he was like a teenager. So yeah, so his family isn't real close.
Did he have any children? Or?
He had 3, and he's not close with any of them.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, he's close to you. That's what.
Yep. It's like he says, you know, he's has a hard time getting used to my family. Because my family is close. We do everything together, you know. We have family reunions, we have family Christmases, you know, every year like clockwork, you know. And we work together, we do things together, and he, you know, has a little bit of a hard time getting used to that. But he said, your family's really close, you know.
Yeah. So it's more like quiet.
Oh yeah, he's very quiet.
What was ball games or?
He enjoys his remote control airplanes.
Okay.
That's what he does.
Okay. He flies them out in the yard, or?
Oh, he don't fly them in the yard. The ones he's got are too big for that. He has to fly them out of a field, or like he belongs to the Baldwin club up there at the airport.
Up north in Baldwin?
Yep, he belongs to an actual club up there that they use the airport to fly their planes off.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yep.
That's gotta be neat. That sounds good.
He has a jet. Yeah,
He has a jet,
yes, a turbine jet.
and these are big.
These are good size. They're
Actually-
probably just one table here is about the size of it.
Okay.
So yeah, about one side of those tables is about one of his planes.
Okay, that's pretty big. That is
Yeah,
good.
they're pretty good size.
Okay, that's a neat. What happened to the little?
He don't play the little one.
Okay.
Like he said, I did that when I first started out.
Right. Okay,
And
so
he's
that
been
is
doing
sport.
that for
That's
like
sport.
30 years.
Does he fish too, or do you go
Nope,
fish?
he doesn't
Just playing.
fish, he doesn't do anything else.
Okay.
I guess he used to hunt once in a while when he was younger, but
Okay.
that's it.
Deer and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They hunt up there.
Now he just watches them out our back door.
So, okay, so let's see, you're working and you're here, and then what are like some final thoughts, basically, that maybe we've forgotten that you feel are an important part of your life, that your daughter should know, and other people?
You know, her and I are really close, so she pretty much knows how I feel about life in general. I'm a firm believer that, life's too short. Don't stand back and take everything and worry about it for 10 years or whatever. You got to learn to get past some of the things that happen to you. And so, yeah, I'm very much a believer in living life. And I hope I'm that way till the day I die.
Living life. You're a believer in living life.
Oh, living it completely.
Enjoying.
That's why I don't stop.
Living means enjoying, or?
Huh?
Living means enjoying, or what does it mean?
To just keep going, keep doing things, go places, see things, you know. Like I said, her and I, that's our weekend away once a year. Just her and I go. The kids don't go with us. Husband don't go with me. Just her and I to Beetle Fest every year for 4 days.
Okay, that's right, the Beatles.
Yes, and we
Where's that at?
in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago, and I'm from there. And I know
Yep, and so
that. I
that's
like the Beatles.
that's her and I. We have a ball when we go, and that's it. Do things, learn things, go places. You know, life's too short not to enjoy it.
But still, she doesn't know deep inside of you or other people. So that's you. I mean, you like Beetle Fest.
Yep.
And live life. Who else are you?
Who else am I? I don't know. I would think I'm a good mother. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I would have to say that, I am a good mother, and I believe that she's a wonderful mother. I mean, she doubts herself all the time, and she shouldn't, because she has probably one of the best moms I've seen in a long time.
Why do you say that? As a mom,
she is so content with her children. She has never left them with a babysitter other than me. I mean, she's that. She's very protective of them. She worries about them all the time. But at the same time, she believes that they should be able to be upfront with her and honest. And even though sometimes she says it really hurts sometimes, because kids are kids. They're not always very nice. But she needs, I would want her to know that I truly believe that she's doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. She really is. She's got 2 beautiful, bright girls. And they wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for her. Because she really does. She's very content. And that's what I would want her to know. And I would want her girls to know that Nana believes in your mom, so listen to her.
Nana, grandma?
Yep,
Nana.
That's what they call me, Nana.
Nana, okay.
Because they said anybody can be a grandma. But you're special when you become a Nana because you're actually in our life. That's the way it was explained to me.
Okay, by them.
They even protect me. Like we went to a Craig Cruisers. It was. And they were going to go on.
The one on 50 something?
No. What's the other one down here at the Fifth Third Ballpark? Not Craig Cruisers.
Oh, the other one.
Yeah, they're Fifth.
The other way is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is there a Craig Cruisers there?
I don't know if it's called Craig's Cruisers, but it's something similar.
Okay.
And they got the go-karts. And the girls were going to go on there, and Tiny says, come on.
I know which one you're talking about.
She goes, come on, Ma, let's go. And I said, no, I'm going to set this one out and watch you guys. She goes, oh, you're no fun. My oldest granddaughter popped up with, Mom, she is 2. She's one of the best nanas ever. She goes everywhere with us. She does everything with us. We have fun with her. So don't sit there and tell your mom she's not fun. So because I am. I'm very much a part of their life. So yeah, I just want them that would be the one thing I'd want them to know. Is that trust your mom, because she's probably the best you got. And I believe in her.
Okay. What else do you want to know who you are?
I would want them to know that Nana believed that life can be a good thing if you just make it. You have to make it that way. You can't find excuses all the time. You can't, there's no excuse for it. life is what it is, and if you can't make it the best you can make it, and I'm a firm believer in that. You know, sure, it's like I tell my husband, I could sit around and go, oh, this happened. Classic example, my blow dryer decided to catch fire the other morning on me. And I was like, oh man, like that.
Your clothes dryer.
My blow dryer, yes. And it was
Blow dryer for the hair.
hair, yes.
Okay, caught
Decided to
fire?
catch on fire, yeah.
While you had it in your hair?
Well, yes, why I had it in my hand. So I'm like, you know, and he's like, oh man, you know, and he's making a big deal out of it. I looked at him and I just started busting. I said, well, at least it wasn't close to my hair. And that's the way I think of things. I don't, you know, you got to find humor in it.
So you look for the positive side.
I look for the positive side. I look for the humor in it. Because it doesn't do you any good to go the other way, other than make you feel worse. And I don't want to feel that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say, you know, look at the positive. I'm a firm believer in that.
What's the most important reason that you work here at this place?
Because I believe in what they do. I think this place does wonderful things for the seniors, for the little ones. I enjoy going down and seeing them all. You see me walk through the senior every day. I make that walk because I really believe in what this place is doing here is a good thing. So I would say that's really important for people to know that I work here, yeah, and I get paid and everything else. But I could work someplace else too, and I wouldn't have the same feeling that I do here.
Okay. Final thoughts.
No?
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
Thank you.